Achieved with CryEngine.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and now welcome to the 4th edition of George's Corner. And we are here, and we're about to take part in the battle over Dunker Church. And to begin with, we have, for instance, our lovely Confederate troops here that are going to be trying to defend the point. Being led by Captain Fubar there.
D-rank, boys, D-rank.
And already they have some forward men trying to take the point.
Double quick, boys. Double quick.
And we also do have some bugler music apparently being played in here as well.
Yeah, it's great.
So let's go ahead and advance forward and see what the Union might be doing at the same time here. Okay, and coming out of the Union side of their spawn, we have, for instance, some members of the New York Zouaves over there, as well as, by the looks of it, some of the 6th Wisconsin that are attempting to make their way against the church there. And over there in that distance we do have a few very small line of skirmishers there that are also going to be doing some quick scouting up ahead. While in the meantime, the members of the Zouaves here, I believe these are Pennsylvania Zouaves actually, excuse me, they're going to be advancing forward on that church there, and with those uniforms they are going to definitely stick out like a sore thumb. But in the meantime, we shall definitely see what can be done. Oh, and we have a little bit more of a line going on over here. So it looks like we have a three-pronged attack. And what you see them doing here is what's known as deploying as skirmishers. Now this was one of the ways that some of the members of a regiment, particularly probably a company, would actually form in front of an entire regiment to help basically create a skirmish line in front of the main line that could then probe the enemy lines, their own skirmish line, and do a bit of damage. At least when they're not getting attacked by random shots here. Indeed, they're having to watch both against the two major lines that are over here, as well as from the dedicated skirmishers on this flank over here. So if we were to look at it from the Confederate perspective,
oh,
let's go.
on the right. I'll stay here.
Cody, are you with us?
Yes.
Cody, go!
Oh, sorry.
Lead down.
We shooting these bastards yet, sir?
I killed him. All right, guys, right here, go ahead and take the lead
Make ready.
and just take care of what's over here.
Ready.
Fire by company! Take aim!
Take aim!
Game.
oh no, and it looks like the Confederate flag has gone down, unfortunately, felled by an enemy shot. Those skirmishers can get some good shots when they want to. Let's take a look and see. It looks like the 6 Wisconsin members over here, part of the Iron Brigade, have actually formed on this fence and are combating with some of the Confederates that have hidden in the trees there just behind. So with these various flanking maneuvers going on, it's going to be hard keeping track. But I'll definitely do my best as I can. Let's see if we can't find what happened to the other main line. It looks like here we have the Zhuov line that is forming over the crest of this hill. And it's probably about to do a major push here.
Good job.
So it looks like these guys are members of the company known as the 1st Texas, companies H and B, or excuse me, F and B, I should say. I can totally read, I swear, guys. So they are attempting to actually form their ranks.
At the ready.
Take aim.
Aim.
And we have some very enthusiastic Zhuovs by the sounds of it. All right. But if we head on over here, we can see that by the looks of it, the 6th Wisconsin line is still holding strong. No casualties as of yet, as they attempt to continue to push on the Dunker Church. Now, the objective for either side is to capture this central point here, in which the Dunker Church represents part of that central point. In fact, it's oftentimes used by both sides as a means of holding down the point by guarding from those doors and windows. And it looks like some further casualties have been made by both sides here. And let's see what sort of casualties have been made in amongst the Confederates. Oh, and it looks like the 6th Wisconsin are charging up the hill. They are completely ignoring the Confederates that are in the trees here. That are going to charge them from the rear by the looks of it. Oh, and they are hitting this line hard. Oh, and there are several men down so far. Oh, and it does not look like the 6th Wisconsin are winning this too much, considering the reinforcements coming up. Yeah, there's still a few hiding in amongst there. Any that might have gone inside the church here? No, it looks like it is Union free, at least for the moment. Albeit, another line has now charged them. It looks like the skirmish line and the Zhuov line are quickly following suit, albeit I think I can see a few of their casualties way in the back there. And already it is a hard-fought victory for the Union to try and take this line.
Well done.
All right. So now the Union does have to reform and send a fresh batch of troops down to try and take this point. Let's go ahead and see if we can't find them in this mess here. And here we can see the Union lines again marching forward, as in the background the Mama Farm, one of the only instances where a private residence was on purpose burned during the entire Civil War, was right in the rear there. And that was unfortunately by the Confederate troops who were trying to prevent Union sharpshooters from using it as a vantage point against them. And here we have reinforcements for the Zhuovs heading towards the fence right there in the center that you can see way over there in the distance. In the meantime, it looks like the 6th Wisconsin is again looking to come up that right flank of the Confederates from their perspective. And they are again spreading on across the line there, trying to have a somewhat even coverage, along with apparently some of them actually in the church. Oh, looks like some Union members have actually managed to hide inside the church here. And they are going to hold fast as much as they can. Perhaps even do a little bit of a countercharge when the moment is right. If they are not, in the meantime, discovered. We shall have to see. As it stands, it's still 32 minutes. And Captain Whip there of the 2nd Georgia is getting a few shots in. Oh, they are taking down the center of the line all by their lonesomes here. Oh, they have completely annihilated the middle of the line. And they are going to go right back into that church, trying to hide away. In the meantime, the Confederates are absolutely clueless as to this horrendous event on their flank. Or on their center, excuse me. But we do have Captain Cullaby here. Or Recruit Cullaby, excuse me.
Here comes the guys. Hey, as soon as they cross
Members of the 42nd and 38th here trying to hold this line. Or in the meantime, Captain Cooper, here's the captain here, he is going to hold this line, unbeknownst to him, that there is nothing but death
Now,
all
we're
around
on that
him.
side of the fence. I did not say aim. I did not say aim.
Oh, they're going to hold their fire until they're actually on this side of the fence here,
Well,
not
this
wanting to
guy
give away their
stands still.
position.
Is that more Yankees?
In the meantime, oh, it looks like the center is actually starting to fall with the lack of troops. Oh my gosh! And there goes that poor fella down by a shot through the window. They will not let them try and rouse them from their roost. Oh, and it looks like some of the Zouaves and Wisconsin are going to aim into the forest there. Oh, is it doing terrible damage?
Good target fire.
We have a few down in the midst, including the captain. Captain Cooper is down. So it looks like they were noticed in amongst the trees there. These guys might be waiting. Oh, and it looks like they have noticed some of the guys in here. Oh, or they might have fallen by the wayside. Oh, looks like those that were taking the center there were destroyed. Oh, and in the meantime, here we go. It looks like some of the Union have cleared out this area. So now the Confederates are scattered. The point is quickly being taken. Can they hold it? Can they countercharge now against a fence that is now being used against them? And now the Confederates are going to try and take advantage as much as possible of the church here.
Fire at will, company H. Company H,
Fire at will.
And this might be a very short match indeed, if the point is not retaken very quickly. Oh, and it looks like some members are still hiding out there in the woods over there. But the Confederates are going to have to charge if they're going to have any chance. Albeit, oh, okay, what very few members they have left to do so. Oh, and these poor blokes do not look like they are standing much chance to do the damage they need to do. And it is the USA that is the victor on this map here. But let's see what might happen in the next match. Alright, so let's go ahead and catch on up with the rest of the gents here. And for this one, I'll go ahead and actually take part in the fighting, all the better to help narrate, my dear. Oh, dear God. Oh, and a fierce bombardment is currently underway by the Union. Yet again, we are seeing an example, oh boy, of the suppression mechanics that are present in the game here. And we gotta quickly catch up to the rest of the blokes in the map. Oh God, it's a rolling barrage. Oh Jesus. Dear Lord, do not get on the wrong side of a Union artillerist. I swear I paid him back, I swear.
Do we have a force on the hill?
No.
Here they
No?
come.
Here come them blackberries. They're fixing to form up, and what they would generally do is run one to the left, one to the right. You gotta
Yep, we can see some of them right over there, just in the center of the screen, coming across.
Here they come.
Oh, and here they come as well.
Make ready.
They're coming, they're coming.
Aim. Fire.
Quickly reload. And it looks like some escaped over there to the right. And I am unfortunately... Oh, and I've been taken down. Will we be able to hold? Oh, already looks like some bloke has gone up to the point.
That was just the meat ship. They're still coming.
That was the entire company, man.
Alright. Yeah, we have valiantly held the line.
Let's go ahead and left fake the company and get them back down towards the bridge. Company, reload and left
Uber
base.
wants us to
Left
clear
base,
out the
boys.
trees if there's no one, and then go back to the fence.
Good job, yeah.
Company, at the double quick, forward march.
March, boys.
Sirs, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna clear the woods if there's anything.
Always important to follow the orders of your officers. Oh, and it looks like we do have some blokes down there already. They have formed a constant stream trying to have a foothold on the bridge, much like the beaches of Normandy almost. And from there, they're going to do their best to hold the rest of the point. And we'll have to watch for any naysayers that might be in the woods just in front of us there. Now to our left. Let's see if I might have a bit of a better chance this time here, now that I'm actually at the fence,
All in, boys, all
rather
in.
than just behind.
I think these are the meat shields.
Yeah, those are meat shields. Don't take the
I
bait.
think they just
Take the bait, hold. Our skirmishers will deal them. Hold.
hold it.
Fire.
Gotta quickly reload. I got 20 seconds here to try and do this. Oh, I hear some death behind me.
Hold them, boys. Hold them.
I hear some death very close by. Oh God, I'm gonna turn around and die. Oh, yep, there we go. I was trying to get that reload, damn it. I was so close.
Oh, hey, Thomas
Form a
is back.
second line. Okay, boys, if you got nowhere to go, get on that mark.
Tell the developers I'm going to be using this time then.
Oh, there's this couple behind us, I think.
Or like, oh, is that a bad guy in
There's
front of
one
us there?
blue behind us.
Gentlemen, we will have another round after this because the last
Oh,
two
nope,
rounds
it's
been
friendly.
So short. I'm
thank
sorry
God.
for my absence. I got crashed and then I couldn't get it back in because there was too many people.
I have to apologize. You boys
Damn those people,
because I
filling
got
up the ranks. How could they?
You boys have done
Steady,
an
boys.
excellent
Steady.
job.
Gang pushes to our front here.
You gentlemen have done an excellent job on this map. My company, make ready!
Nick, grenade. Aim.
Oh, nope, break that reload. Ah, come on. Oh, no, do not roll. Okay. Or just, you know, do that. That were okay. there's at some point where you're just mashing buttons and you're not actually being helpful. We'll see what happens. Okay, we are still holding the point. If by the merest thread of existence, if one man goes down, this will be over. I mean, we can hold with 3 guys, but if there's only 2 guys, well, it's done for. No, but we are going to continue to try and hold this point here. Push on before they have a chance to reform. And get back onto the other side of the bridge. And they are already here. Oh, dear Lord. Oh. Oh, dear Lord. I hope I was not the last one. Oh, there is 1 ticket. 1 ticket. And they have charged us. I do not have high hopes. Oh, and that was the last one. And it is the Union that is once again victorious here on the maps, and a very good job to both sides here. We will go ahead, and besides that very epic stand, Cody there was right, we are going to go ahead and go on to the interviews next and see what can be found. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are now here on the Confederate drill camp, and we are joined by various members of the Confederate command for the last several battles, including Captain Cooper, Captain Fubar, and Corporal Jason here. And we're looking to talk a little bit about some of the battles that went on. So we did 2 different maps mainly. That being the fighting over Dunker Church, as well as just after that, the fighting over Burnside Bridge, of which I actually personally took part. And unfortunately, on both occasions, we did not win on that battle there. How did you guys enjoy yourselves at the very least?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I always enjoy it regardless. Did miss Fubar a lot, though. He you know, this was his event, and it just didn't feel right without him. Great that we had such a big turnout, but I tell you, it wasn't right without him. But still, though, when he did show up, he really showed up.
Absolutely, yes. He was a very commanding voice on the battlefield when at least he did have the chance to do so. Unfortunately for him, for those in the audience, he did crash several times, as unfortunately it is still an alpha just yet. But we are every day continuing to strive those down as best we can, especially with the help of you guys here helping to put in those crash reports for us. And we very much appreciate that. In any case, why don't you guys go ahead and describe to me some of the thought processes that you had for trying to defend, for instance, on Burnside Bridge?
Well, by the time I arrived to the battlefield, we had already been pushed up past the bridge and up to the point of contention, I guess you could say. When I arrived, we were still getting pushed, and we pretty well much set up and dug in around the boulders there at the point of contention and held as best we could, and we really started to hold pretty well in a good formation when I arrived. However, our numbers were already so low that it was pretty well much too late to do anything at all. I arrived, we had just a few reinforcements left available to us, and we pretty well much exhausted those immediately. However, you know, would my horse not have gone lame on me and I have arrived probably, I don't know, 30 minutes beforehand, we may have held that bridge no problem at all.
Absolutely, I certainly understand, yes. You gotta hate it when those dang horses go lame on you, absolutely. With the fighting that happened, for instance, at the Dunker Church, you guys were holding pretty well, even, unfortunately, without the help of Captain Fubar. And Captain Cooper, why don't you go ahead and describe some of what happened in that battle for us?
Well, once we did form up and move out, we got to the fence. Yankees deployed the skirmishers up on the hill, which normally they do if they're not doing a main push right up front. and they took a swift right flank to us, and we split up down the middle. I took the right half, and when Fubar was there, he did take the center line. Yankees jumped the bridge, or not the bridge, excuse me, the fence. We were held up in the woods just on their right-hand side. They gave off a couple of volleys, and we couldn't get them behind that fence. There was no way, so we had to wait for them. We tried to push around to the right a little bit, but wasn't going to happen. When they did clear the fence, we had them on both sides because my boys came up behind, and Fubar had them in the front, and they just lost that right there. They tried that, I think, about 2 or 3 times, roughly. And we kept holding best we could, but we kept getting pushed back further and further, so wasn't much we could do about it.
Yeah, eventually that fence just in front of the church there was actually used against you once they had cleared the point and started to hold it themselves. But fate definitely is a fickle mistress, to be sure. And perhaps any other mentions that you guys had for us for tonight?
I'd just say good job on the First Texas part. They a good group, good solid core of guys, and they all work together very well. And when they show up, you know it's going to be hell to pay all around. And you know, they were playing as the Yankees tonight, but however, they did an excellent job. They did the best you could do playing as a Yankee. So
Hey, I'm glad
Gotta love
they're on our
galvanizing.
side. You know, definitely glad they're on our side in the end.
I'm just gonna chime in here, say the fighting over Burnside's Bridge was some of the most intense fighting I've seen in this game. It was definitely very enjoyable. Yeah, I did miss Fubar, but it was very fun. I just wish we could have held if we had Fubar there, but it was very fun overall.
Absolutely, and as I keep on mentioning, fate definitely is that fickle mistress there. But in any case, thank you so much, ladies and gents. We do appreciate you joining us today, and we're going to go ahead and go on to the Union Camp now. Thank you so much.
thank you, George.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Alrighty, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and now we are on the Union Camp with the victors of the last 2 matches. Welcome, gents. We very much appreciate all the fighting that you did today. It was a very valiant charges and reposts that you definitely faced us with on the Confederate side over there, of which I actually took part on the Burnside map and tried to hold you back, though to no avail. But how did you guys enjoy yourselves?
I think we did a great job. It was fun. Big blast. Really got to kind of flex our muscles on some of these maps, and yeah, it was really fun tonight.
Yep, and true to, for instance, at the Battle of Burnside, we did have that very large numerical advantage for the Union, about as numerical as the amount of people that we have here joined today. Speaking of which, we do have, for instance, Sergeant Hitsme, First Sergeant Saras, Captain LaBelle, Sergeant Highland, Captain John Meow, and Major Stockton all joining us here today. We very much appreciate each and every one of you joining us, including Mork. We'll eventually say hi, Mindy, some other time. But in any case, thank you so much for joining us today. We always very much appreciate all you guys' enthusiasm and taking part in the battles here. Beyond that, why don't you guys go ahead and, for instance, in the case of Captain LaBelle in your beautiful uniform, why don't you go ahead and tell me about some of the tactics that you were trying to use during the battle?
Well, mostly it was just focusing on hitting the enemy where they didn't really have themselves covered. On the maps that we played, as you know, you're so constricted in where you have to fight, especially on Burnside Bridge. You have to go over certain spots, and to break through those points, you have to use mostly wave tactics, and just divide your men up and try to get across that bridge, make the enemy focus his attention on one side of you so the other side can push it.
Right.
And it's mostly what we tried to do.
And how about you, Major Stockton? What were some of the tactics that you were using during the time?
So yeah, no, he basically nailed it. We always tried to show one thing and have the enemy think we were doing that, when in truth we were trying to weaken them on one side and push that weak side. I think it worked great on Dunker. We stacked that left side pretty heavy, and allowed the 51st here to push down the Smoketown Road right up to Dunker Church and really hit them where it hurts. Once they didn't really know where we were coming from, we were able to kind of mass on that point and hold it steadfast there. Same thing with Burnside. We basically we had 3 groups. We had I was leading one company, we had LaBelle leading one company, and 51st were leading another one here. And we just basically staggered it to where we would try to time it to where they would have the least amount of rifles loaded at a time, and we could really push that bridge, get a foothold, and launch our attacks from that side of the river.
Oh, okay. And 51st, I think, on the Dunker Church, I noticed that you and some of your men were acting as skirmishers on the right flank. Did you guys do pretty well with that tactic?
Yes, I think it worked pretty well. We took obviously some casualties, but in the end, it provided a great distraction for the 1st Texas unit to get around and give them the real fight. Then we could flank over on the right side, up the road, and like you said, we could attack from 2 fronts, and thus creating confusion, and yeah, that's pretty much it on that one.
Very nice, very nice. And for the sergeants here, of the various different kinds of sergeants, it's definitely your sort of game for this one right here. We're talking about smaller tactics rather than something for the higher-ups, such as regimental-sized tactics. For you guys, what were some of the roles that you were performing during the battles here? How about Sergeant Hitsme? Why don't you go ahead and start first there?
Yeah, it was a lot of making sure that everybody was moving, and we were consistently keeping them under pressure, didn't give them too much of a chance to reinforce, and just making sure that our guys were constantly ready to push that envelope at every turn.
Absolutely. And Sergeant Saris, how about yourself, sir?
Same here. I just kept telling my boys to keep the pressure on them.
Very nice. And how about Sergeant Highland? Was there anything in particular that you took part in during the battles?
Well, I think he crashed.
Or not. He is going to ninja vanish out of this conversation. I see how that goes. All right.
Highland magic.
We got the Scottish here amongst us. Thank you so much. As I mentioned before, it's because of your guys' involvement that we're able to do these battles and get this game going as it stands. And, well, thank you so much, everybody. We very much appreciate it, and we'll look forward to seeing you another time. Perhaps next Saturday yet again at 5 o'clock on the Pacific Standard Time and 8 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time. And let me go ahead and return honors to the great folks here. So thank you once again, and have a great rest of your night.